Star Sailor and Poor Misguided Fool. With me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
K-Man, round of applause for K-Man.
Yeah.
But no one's announced who you are.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
It's XFM 104.9.
Saturday afternoon. If you didn't know that, I don't know why I mentioned it. That was stupid, really. You must know that by now.
Well, we've got some great things coming up.
We have indeed.
We've got songs and chat and things.
We'll also, of course, be running through the white van man questions from the Sun again, but this time Karl will be answering them. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Can we do that fairly soon? Oh, there's some good questions this week.
Yeah, we will, but, as I was coming in, there was, like, a bunch of, posh lads, I think university students, trying to get in, because they're doing one of those, scavenger hunts, but they have to get points for charity and do stuff, and one of theirs is get on a live radio show.
Right.
So I sort of felt sorry for them, so I said they could come on here, just for 5 minutes.
Who are
that's
they?
all right. They're just,
Are they toffs?
they are sort of like toffs, but they're trendy toffs. They're obviously...
Trendy toffs? I don't know
Yeah.
what's that. Is that like Lady Victoria Hervey? Is she
No, I don't mean that, no. They're both sort of like that, Will of Pop Idol.
Right.
They're like him, sort of like trendy but posh.
Okay.
They seem nice enough, and they're doing it for a cancer charity, and they just get
They got for what is it like? They got their sponsor to do various.
exactly. I don't know quite how it works, but they're gonna come on and because we get for coming on this live radio show, they get 17,000 points.
Right. Good.
If I can put that in context,
Yeah.
if they were to say to help deliver a baby, they only get 7,250 points.
But it's much easier.
It is. There's lots of women just
Happily
dropping sprogs all over the place. You can't get on a live radio show these days for love nor money.
That's true enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
when are they coming in?
Karl said they're going to just...
1:30, I had a word with them.
Okay. What did you make of them?
They are posh.
Really?
But, they said they're gonna wander about and go and see if they can deliver a baby and that. And then come back here for 1:30. And, I don't know if it how much...
I hope they don't like leave a baby sort of half out. You know, if they've got it. You know, they're push. Sorry, we're gonna have to shoot off. We've got to go and see.
We've got to play an instrument in a marching band for 8,500 poinds.
Well, I did say be here definitely at 1:30 because I don't want you getting in the way of the white van questions.
And the other thing is, right, they get 7,500 points for delivering a baby, but they get 9,000 points if they cut Peter Stringfellow's hair.
Well, he's very precious about his hair.
It's a more delicate operation, isn't
Absolutely.
it? There's more that can go wrong.
That's true enough.
Take an unconventional animal for a walk in a park. What is an unconventional
animal?
I think that could be a dog that just doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah, that's a dog that's into Slipknot.
Yeah, that wheeze in a urinal.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing up.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward
Well,
to
yeah,
that.
I'm sure they're lovely guys. Good luck to them.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Karl's all confused because it didn't tell you it was ended, did it? What is that then? Is that a sort of glitch in the computer?
Just applause, isn't it?
I
Careful,
can't
they
hear
might
it.
start swearing. You know what they're like. Rock stars.
Yeah,
Their blue language.
yeah, and all their habits. And all
Oh.
that. Yeah, like it says track ending now.
Stop talking about it. You're giving away all the secrets of radio and that. People think it's like an old piece of vinyl that we've put on a needle, you know, like those old bits of footage of Tony Blackburn. That's what they think it's like. They don't realise there's computers doing it all.
Yeah.
Rick, you're showing them behind the curtain. Never do that.
I won't.
Never do that, mate.
In the week, I called Karl up. Said, how are you, mate? He went, not too bad. Now, as you know, his girlfriend's been away for, ages, hasn't she? Covering the World Cup, the,
African nations.
Nations Cup. She's a sports journalist.
Well, yeah.
Alright, okay.
I love the fact you're thinking, what does that mean? Like, well, she's not much of a journalist, Rick, to be honest. I've read some of her stuff.
No, but she's not on air. She does stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of journalists do. You want to make clear that you're not going out with Kate Adie. That's what you want to make clear, isn't it? Yeah. Now, so she'd seen none of the meteoric rise of Karl as a
Right,
broadcaster.
she's been away for the whole time
a
since you've sort of
raconteur,
become...
a wit,
Yeah.
a cult figure, to be honest. And he hadn't told her this, so, apparently he went home when she was sitting there, because a bit grumpy, he went, alright, so yeah. She went, should we go out then? She went, I'm not sure I want to go out with an idiot. Right?
Oh, no!
Yeah. And she went, Loch Ness Monster, why don't you just think, of course the Loch Ness Monster lives in Loch Ness. And she was giving a bit of a hard time, and she went, that's why he said, that's why I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her really. Same thing happened when I was at school and I had to play drums in Little Donkey. I didn't tell my parents, right? But my dad turned up anyway. And what happened?
He,
How old were you, Carl?
Well, it was the school that I used to go to.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
So
You went. Well, you used to go to the school you used to go to.
No, but what I mean is,
on.
I didn't go to secondary, did I? So I missed a lot of that.
Sure.
But primary, I liked.
Oh,
it was
okay.
all colouring in and stuff.
Yep.
And it was a Christmas play, and I managed to get a part in it. And
Did you audition?
got a part in it, and I should have been playing the drums to the one about Kings. We
Three Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was meant to be doing that, but Little Donkey came on, and it was one of those.
What do you mean came on?
That was like next up on the next song.
Right.
And it's one of them songs that you can't help sort of
Tapping along to.
yeah. Do you know like if I was to go
Yeah, you'd have to finish it with.
yeah. Do you know that they actually send that into space?
Do they?
And
What, hoping that aliens will respond with that?
yeah, they do that because apparently it is one of them things that you can't help.
What, even if you're an alien life form?
Yeah.
They know that, do they?
But anyway.
What, because they watch Star Trek or something?
Hello. Knock knock.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Is it true, like, if you send
there?
out knock into space, yeah, they have to say
Oggy oggy. Oh, that is great.
Seriously.
Oh, hold on, what's something out there? It was a little green fella. That is great.
Yeah. So anyway,
That is
Little Donkey is like one of them tunes that you can't. And I was there, and I had the drumstick, and I thought, oh god,
The drumstick.
I could feel myself. And anyway,
Just wanting to do it, yeah.
I started going along and playing Little Donkey, which I wasn't meant to do, but it went down such a storm.
What, were there people like parents and that dozing off, and then suddenly they heard your version of Little Donkey, and they thought, wait a minute, now it's really picking up.
What do you mean?
I'm glad we paid £1.50 for this.
What do you mean it went down such a storm? I'm going, hold on, was it like when
People have
Ringo...
lighters in the air.
It was like when Ringo joined the Beatles, now going,
Yeah.
boo, Pete Best, but he went...
Yeah,
And I went, whoa! Oh, God.
But the teacher just said, oh, it went down really well, you can do that again tonight,
Right.
when you're in it again. But anyway, so my dad was there,
And you hadn't told him about this performance, so
no, I
he
never
just
did.
turned up
I
off
never
his own
did.
back.
No, I never took the letters home and stuff to,
No.
to show my mum and dad, because it just put me off. So, anyway, he turned up, don't know why, he must have heard from someone else's dad.
Yeah.
He turned up, and, he swore about me, which...
Did he?
I don't...
Could you use a word
It's allowed
that's...
to be said? The word?
Of course it is.
Right. If you got a kid in the car or anything, you can turn it down now.
Yeah.
Right? But he said, there was a guy stood next to him with a camera, big video camera filming it. And he said, yeah, film it, but try and avoid getting the twat in the hat in the shot. Because I had one of those porters, you know, the little round pork pie hats on.
Right.
This is so sad.
What, was this a nativity play?
It was about Jesus and stuff.
Yeah, well, there was a porter there helping him with his bags.
Of course it was, I forgot.
I mean, Mary and
What,
Joseph,
managing the
they got
stable?
there. Yeah, because it was the whole, because the inn was full.
Yes.
But I think the porter doubled up with the inn and the stable.
Right, that was nice.
So
of him.
he
carry bags over, yeah.
Yeah, no, so yeah.
You're right though, I don't know why I was wearing one of them. But I was. And,
And your father said that, and how did you know your father said that? Did you hear it?
about it later.
Oh, talking about it later.
Yeah, I was talking about stuff I'd done at school, and he said, oh god, remember that, and I spoke to him the other day about it.
Right.
And, yeah.
Oh, God.
shame.
So that was the end of your sort of drumming career, really? Because it could have been, I mean, you know, the audience loved it the night before.
Yeah.
You could have, like, been like, who knows, a whole new world for you.
Yeah,
Have
that
you
is.
done any stuff?
I've never drummed. I wish I had, man.
That is,
That's a movie story, but
is that, and that's why you don't tell, your mum and dad don't know you on the radio, do
they
they?
think, when they were down the other weekend, they had to come in here, I just said, oh, I'll just go in and press the buttons.
Because they could listen on Sky Digital, couldn't they?
They could do.
But you wouldn't want that, would you?
I don't want that.
No. Play a record, and I want to talk to you again a little bit about this later.
yeah.
Princess Superstar, Bad Babysitter, first played on this show by Steve Merchant, by Bad Steve Merchant.
That's true enough.
By Steve Scratch Merchant.
That's
I mean, I still like that, but the videos put me off it a little bit, because it's just, it makes it into the novelty record it always had the potential of being, do you know what I mean?
I agree. Although I was never a big fan of Bad Babysitter was not my favourite from the album.
Sure. Sure.
If people want my interest and my views on hip-hop, then they can always email in, Rick, of course.
Or call you at home.
Just give me a ring at home, no problem.
Yeah.
Or I just pop out and hang with them in the hood.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah.
Now it's time for White Van Man.
White Van Man. Yes, for
explain what it is.
those that don't buy The Sun, they think it's beneath them. White Van Man is a column they have, I think, every day, actually, and they just get sort of some, Joe Public to kind of comment on the week's news. Just seems to me, that it might be interesting to get Karl's views on some of the big events.
Not because we think that Karl hasn't got a valid sort of viewpoint.
No.
Because Karl sees the world differently to some people, that's all, and that's what's interesting. Like an artist does, or a...
Exactly, yeah. He's very bohemian in his outlook.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you're up to scratch on this week's news?
I don't like this, but...
Don't you?
Don't, just relax.
Why not?
It's pressure.
No, because you just have to give us your first opinions.
For your honest answer, that's all we've ever asked of you, Karl, and it's all you've ever given us. Your honest, your first from the heart view, yeah? Don't worry, just relax.
Just chill out.
Are you worried that people are listening and thinking you're an idiot?
If my girlfriend's listening now, go and have a wash or something.
Go and have a wash.
Not very nice, is it? Is it the opposite of Napoleon and Josephine? Yeah, go on. If you're going to visit me again, Josephine, say wash.
Well, I'll ease you in with something fairly easy, a music-based question. Kylie Minogue versus Dido as Queen of the Brits. What's your view there?
Go and have a wash.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
It doesn't really matter.
What doesn't really matter?
With the Brits. I was watching it the other night, and, I think Kylie will be a good-looking old woman.
Okay.
Do you ever do sort of
Steve, I want to celebrate with you. Every time he opens his mouth, it doesn't matter. I want us to open a bottle of champagne.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like we did that.
Yes.
No, do you do that though? Look at people and another person who springs to mind, Jenny Powell. I don't think she's that good-looking now.
Who's Jenny Powell? Is she that girl that used to be the assistant on Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah,
yeah, I think she's a bit over the top for a young woman. But when she gets older, I think she'll
be a bit of a stunner. Okay. So, for you, Kylie, whereas you don't feel that about Dido, is that right?
She's alright, she's normal. I prefer Kylie's sister to Kylie. She looks, I can imagine her being hard work to live with, and...
Who, Kylie?
Not being washing up and that.
Right, sure.
Being a bit fussy.
Okay. And what do you make of taxes rising in the next budget to pay for NHS improvements?
Well, my dad went to hospital to have an operation once.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's worth paying it, because I've got something.
Because people might have to go to hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes a change when it's someone in your family, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you sort of realise...
Yeah, a change is as good as a rest.
And the weird thing is, if it weren't for my dad, I wouldn't be here doing this show, because when he was in hospital...
Well, no, I'll stop you there.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's all you need to know.
You wouldn't be here, true, but no, but...
Well, no, because this was after I was born. So, I would be here.
But his more direct involvement was what?
Yeah, because when my mum was seeing my dad in the hospital, I got a bit bored, went for a wander, found the hospital radio station...
Yeah.
And got a gig.
Really?
So, in a real sense, if it wasn't for Karl's dad, Karl wouldn't be here.
And did your dad, while he was listening to you, did he, sort of tap the nurse and go, can you get that twat off the air?
Who's put him in that
Yeah. Okay, what do you make of the real-life Mowgli who's surviving in a Transylvanian countryside? Apparently, I don't know much about this story.
I don't know.
You know Mowgli, he's the guy from the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
The little kid that grew up, with bears and animals and stuff. Apparently there's a real-life one in Transylvania.
What were the things in Gremlins?
What were the what? In Gremlins they were...
Wait. Okay, this is an example. This is what your girlfriend said. Think. What were the things in Gremlins called?
I can't remember.
Just, I mean, really...
It's something like that, isn't it?
No, wait. Just really think now, Karl. Just with everything you've ever... With all the brain power you've ever used, think what the things in Gremlins were called.
It's not there.
There's a clue here.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
They're not.
What?
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Play a record, Karl.
Well, we're back, and there's a few more people here.
It's absolutely well done.
Yeah.
Well observed.
Yeah. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
And what are you doing here?
This is Mark and James, or Sco and Belch, and we're here.
Sorry, your names are what?
Sorry, say the last bit again.
Oh, what?
Sco and Belch.
Sco and Belch?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you want to explain that?
No.
No, from the drinking games, I imagine.
Yeah.
We've got worse names than that, but it's radio, so.
Sure.
Now, you're presumably, students?
We've just we kind of graduated. We've been in work like about a year or two.
And what do you do?
I work for a management consultancy.
I work for a distribution company up in Birmingham.
Well, okay. Now, what you're doing is a scavenger hunt, and you're raising for cancer charity
Cancer research.
right? And you've got to do. And this is we're just helping you out here because for 17,000 points, you have to get live on a TV or radio show.
That's exactly it.
So
and
here we are.
That's why we're here. Yeah.
Do you ever listen to XFM?
I know of it. Yeah. I listened to it a few times.
Sure. What kind of music, what kind of sounds would you normally be into?
I love cheesy radio, sort of school disco, sort of, 80s stuff.
Sure. Sorry, what was your name again?
Mark, or Sco.
Sco.
Okay.
And you're
Belch.
Belch. And what sort of sounds would you be grooving to, Belch?
Cheesy.
UK garage?
Well,
Craig David.
a bit of house, just very occasionally. A bit of cheese. It depends what kind of mood I'm in, you know.
Now, you don't listen much, but I mean, Kiss a Celeb, because Karl...
Yeah, we actually want to do that with you, Ricky. Is that right?
No.
That's not going to happen with Ricky, but Karl's now got his name mentioned in Heat magazine.
Is that right? Well, that's
if you want to
brilliant.
snog Karl, we'd love to see that.
I mean, we don't want to snog Karl, but I mean, we were thinking if there was kind of a female presenter here, we might be able to do something, but
What are you saying?
A female placenta?
well, if you've got one.
Have you seen some of the female presenters that work on XFM?
Oh, presenter!
Is that why they're on radio?
I thought you said placenta.
That's unlikely.
I know, well, now what's the other things you've got to do here?
So what are some of the things you've done already?
Well,
See, some of these worry me, like start a fire in Pudding Lane
Oh, we've done that already.
for 4,700 points.
well, I'll tell you what we have done. We've been on Phantom of the Opera stage already.
Have you?
Yeah, we just asked the stage door guy. And,
that wasn't during the show, I see.
No.
and that's right, he actually mentioned that, we shouldn't speak about that too.
Otherwise he'll get sacked.
But, yeah, he was really kind, let us on.
We've jumped in Trafalgar Square water with doing a sort of Friends impersonation, so that was...
Right.
How many points
pretty
did you get
cool.
for that?
We got 2,000 points for that. We got
Right.
8,000 points for being on the stage at Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And we get double that. We get like 18,000 points, which is almost the maximum for being here right now.
Really?
So that's absolutely great.
Honestly, I wouldn't worry about the little things. I'd go for the big.
Yeah, that's it.
bucks here.
We're not interested in the little stuff. We want to go for the big stuff.
Yeah.
So what the big ones are, get on stage with S Club 7, that's not going to happen, is it? What have you got till 6 today?
Well,
Yeah.
S Club 7 are on at the London Arena at about 2 o'clock. So,
Good luck.
but
Okay.
I think it's gonna be very, very difficult to get on there. But you never
I
know.
think so, yeah. Get in the vaults of a bank.
Yeah, you got
See,
any ideas?
some of these are bordering on the illegal. That's 20,000 points for that. Like getting a cage at London Zoo. Don't do that. I mean, just 10,000 points, but don't do it. Unless it's a penguin cage.
That's what we were hoping. Just some kind of timid animal we might be alright with. You know?
Yeah, sure.
If anyone's got any good ideas for sort of funky things to do on air, then
Okay, well if you leave your number and anyone calls in, they can help you then.
Well, maybe some of S Club 7 are listening.
Or
Let's hope so, because I mean, we love them to
if
bits.
they are, it is for charity, and the points get awarded into money for colon cancer research. So it'd be absolutely fantastic if we could.
Yeah, so Bradley, John, Tina, if you're listening.
Yeah, if you're listening, or any celebrity out there who's a female celebrity, we need to snog them. It doesn't need to be a long snog,
wait a minute.
but if we can, that'd be great.
This is good for 7,000 points. This looks like a good one. Play the organ in a church. That must be easy.
Is that a metaphor?
Yeah, but you know what church would be like.
It says the bigger the better, so it might be.
That's got to be euphemism.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it? Yeah. Well, thanks very much. Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Guys,
Get
thank
an
you very much.
Thank you very
arrangement
much.
standing outside Les Mis looking Miz.
That's going to happen.
That's good.
Man, a big gun type thing on the HMS Belfast.
That won't
Well, we've got
happen.
the big gun, it's just finding the boat, which is the problem.
Oh,
so.
calm down. What was your name? Bo?
No.
Po?
Let's go.
Go. Thanks very much.
Guys, thank you very, very much.
4.9, the home of charity.
That's true enough.
Yeah. I've got to slow down because I'm doing a little bit too much for charity. I've got to worry about myself sooner or later. Do you know what I mean? No, come on. We were halfway through White Van Man.
We were
before
indeed, yes.
Those lads came in.
Getting Karl's views on some of the big stories of the week
Yeah.
from the news. Karl, what do you make of the fact that the British Olympic curling team won a gold medal?
I watched it.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was really good. The only thing that's getting on my nerves now is like, what was that?
Is that a trombone player just sneaked in?
That was me moving this microphone.
Right.
That was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What an amazing noise.
The only thing is,
That shouldn't sound like that, should it? That's incredible. What a shoddy tin pot station this is.
Well, we know that.
Sorry, Karl.
Go on.
is like in all the papers now, in like the, the Star and the Sun all week, they've been like traipsing models over a bit of granite. Do you know like how those things are made out of granite? The things they throw.
Oh, yeah.
And it just that bit annoys me.
Okay.
The
What,
way
the
that
Daily Star?
no, the way that the sport nobody had ever sort of heard of it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
We win a gold medal,
Yeah.
and now in the papers it's like
They've gone crazy. They've gone curling
right over
mad.
it.
Yeah.
It's a good game now.
Yeah. Good. Okay, next.
Alright, good. Let me see. What about the fact that the world's tallest man is living in a semi in Neasden?
It's alright, isn't it? Something that someone told me in the week is that, do you know all these tall people like this guy?
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird they've only just found him, considering he's the tallest man. And that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Someone
genius.
told me that, do you know the guy who was in James Bond, the big bloke?
Yes.
Jaws? He's got the same illness as this bloke.
Right.
And what it is...
It's called tall.
It's something about...
You're suffering from tall.
You've got a small tumour or something just behind this part of your head.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just sort of in the middle of your eyes.
Yeah.
And the pressure on that makes you grow really tall or something.
Yeah.
So he needs to get it sorted.
That's your advice to him.
Yeah.
Get it sorted. Okay, very finally, Karl, this is important. This is, just projecting into the future.
Get it sorted.
Just projecting into the future now, K-Man. Apparently, global warming will bring sizzling summers and weird wildlife to Great Britain in the future. Are you worried about that?
How soon?
Soon enough for you to worry.
Yeah, it's pretty worrying.
Okay.
You
You wouldn't prefer it to be sunny here all the time?
No, because with hot weather comes weird spiders and that. See, I always think we're quite lucky here.
Yeah.
If you live in Australia, you might have the sun and stuff, but you've got, like, deadly snakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which are death. Did you know snakes are death?
Snakes are death.
They don't have ears.
Okay.
So you're alright walking about behind them.
Yeah. But if they see you ahead of you,
you're
you're in trouble.
But yeah, with places like Australia, you know, people go, oh, it's great, it's sunny, but they don't talk about the spiders and
They keep the spiders.
lizards
Yeah.
and stuff.
Quite.
So I think we've got a bit of both the best worlds.
So you're worried though about in the future, like vultures flying through the sky, we've got various creepy crawly snakes. You concerned about that?
Yeah, well, there's a load. I saw something in the news in the week that a load of sparrows or something was somewhere. Maybe that's the start of it.
That's an interesting story.
Was that front page or? There's a load of sparrows somewhere. Read all about it. Sparrows somewhere.
Some sparrows somewhere.
Sparrows somewhere.
Load of sparrows somewhere.
Sparrows somewhere.
There you go. Anyway,
Excellent. That's
Thank you
great.
very much, Karl.
That's Karl giving his views on the news.
don't do that next week.
Why not?
I just don't like it.
Lost Profits there on XFM 104.9. Now I like that. It rocks. I like the guitar, atmosphere, it's good. But it's called the fake sound of progress.
I know. See, what always annoys me is when people, they dismiss, you know, say Enrique Iglesias, current #1, a great song.
Good video.
Brilliant video. And they say, oh, it's rubbish and all that. But I think that songs with titles like A Fake Sound of Progress.
Yeah.
Much more something to get on your hobby horse about.
What has happened in that
Bad
video?
lyrics by good artists is always worse than
If
a
you're
recorded
listening,
song.
or if you work for the record company, or you worked on that video, because he's got the money and the girl, and then Mickey Rourke beats him up, right, he has a fight, you just see him knock him over, and then it cuts, and the next scene, it's night, it's not in the desert, there's loads of, police cars, they're not doing anything.
They're just standing
And
around.
somehow he's
Probably eating donuts.
He's dying of injuries, but I don't know what happened. What has happened in that video?
I think if you heard the 12-inch mix, there's a whole bunch of other sequences to explain why.
Yeah, I mean, we think that he stole the girl off Mickey Rourke.
I think he stole the girl off Mickey Rourke,
Yeah.
as well as some money.
Some money, yeah.
Mickey's tracked him down,
Yeah.
and he's thinking, I'm going to stop running, I'm going to face Mickey this time. He does, and then boom, you're right, it cuts, and suddenly the police have shot him or
I
something.
don't know where they are.
Don't know what, but the police seem to be leaving him to die in there.
See, I thought that they'd called the police, because the sort of like the melee, but Mickey Rourke's off with his gang. The police are going, well, you know, where are they? There's no evidence. They go, well, look, he's dying. They're going, but how did he die?
Yeah.
How is he dying? He's a bit wet for the
Knowing Rourke though, Rick, I imagine he's stitched Enrique up. I reckon he's framed him or something.
Or he's no sort of like ninja stuff, and there's lots of internal injuries that aren't immediately
Anyone,
visible.
if you were involved with perhaps the making of that video, or indeed you are Enrique Iglesias, give us a ring.
If you're around.
Come on. Just fill us in.
I'd rather play some adverts now than this one.
I'd love to play some adverts, Rick, but I'll say this, I'd also like to tell the listeners that coming very soon on XFM, some huge news about Karl that will rock
It'll
the
be like
capital.
Pop Idol. It's going to be an ongoing saga. In the second hour, I just want to play classics.
I'd love to hear a bloody
I want to
classic,
play
mate.
some Cure, New Order, Smith.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? You know, we played Nirvana earlier, but it's not enough for me, Steve.
No? You need your fix.
I want, I do, well, it's that point in the show now. Song for the Lovers. One of my favourite singers, probably one of the most beautiful singer-songwriters of all time.
Well, you don't mean that, like, you don't mean that he's a good-looking bloke and you fancy him. I mean, I just want to clear that up, Rick, because otherwise...
That would, yeah.
What you mean is that the songs he writes are beautiful.
Yeah.
You can take or leave him as a bloke, Carl.
Yeah, of
Imagine
course,
his physicality, he's
and
not
and he's written such brilliant classics with his lovely arse as, oh, why did I say that?
Why did you say that for, Rick? Because
Why
people
did I say
will
that?
listen and misinterpret.
Oh, God. He wrote Galveston, he wrote Wichita Lineman, he wrote, he wrote MacArthur Park, and just to tickle him down below, what? I don't know
Are
what.
you saying
Thieves. And this is, a song, one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It's off, the album 10 Easy Pieces, which is just him doing the versions, of other, that he gave to other people on piano. And this is, called If These Old Walls Could Speak, and it is absolutely beautiful. Listen to this. These Old Walls Could Speak by Jimmy Webb. Might play another track off that later, if we've got time.
What, today?
Yeah, well, maybe next week. We've got lots to pack in. We've got things like New Order, Cure. Oh.
I'm just hoping that, all those kind of new metal fans, Rick, can just calm down for a second,
Yeah.
and just enjoy that for what it was.
Yeah.
Well, I hope their snobbery is not going to prevent them from enjoying
I
it.
hope they can just leave it alone for 2 hours for our show.
Exactly.
We try and, try and pack lots of
Well, whilst
stuff
you're
in.
talking about new metal, can I just say Ian Camfield is here tonight. He's
What?
moving from Fridays.
Right. What the hell does he think he's doing?
He's just offering up information now.
No, it's just that you were talking about the new metalers, and now seems like a good time to
Carl,
say-
listen. You're here for our amusement.
Yeah.
You don't sort of come in any time you want.
When we decide it's time to sort of have some fun at your expense, then we'll let you know, but
Yeah.
otherwise...
We're not here to help other DJs, or even this station. We don't give about this.
See, this is what my girlfriend said.
What's that?
Well, you should listen to her.
She knows what she's talking about, clearly. Now put your microphone down,
She said they just wheel you out when they need you.
switch your microphone off, Carl, and let us finish what we were saying.
Right, just...
What were we saying, Rick?
Ian Camfield has got a rock show.
Oh, right, yeah.
Starting today. 4 hours of pure rock. Yeah, he's probably here smoking, drinking Jack Daniels and just like having pictures of Vance put up around him to get in the mood. Then he'd go out and rock. Carl, don't be silly. Turn your microphone on. We're joking. Is that right? When's he on?
8 till 12 tonight, 4 hours of rock.
Lovely. Listen, some big classics coming up, plus huge news about Carl.
Please, let's play some more ads.
Do you really want some ads?
I'm tired of the music and chat. Please play some more ads, Carl. Please.
Carl.
Christ's sake. That's what it's all about, Steve.
Absolutely classics.
Yeah, we've got some more classics coming up.
Looking forward to them.
Now, when we were talking to Carl in the week, the thing we're talking to Carl is that you've come up with something that's sort of like, quite innocent, and he goes, well, that once, right? And you realise that it's comedy dynamite. He doesn't know it, but we want to go save it. And he let out, you were filling in a form, weren't you? It was all about your girlfriend thinking you're a div. And it's happened before, isn't it? Because she came home and you'd filled out a form to get a job once, hadn't you?
Yeah.
What was that for?
Granada telly.
And on it...
Well, let Carl explain.
Yeah.
You see, this is what annoys me with job applications, because rather than just saying, do you want the job, and what can you bring to this business?
Yeah. Do you want the job is a good one.
Because the thing is...
That's sort of the one for the boys.
No, listen, right?
Because if they say no, I don't think they want the job.
Yeah, but listen.
Go on.
I mean, I presume with what you do, you have to take people on and stuff.
What, a fight, you mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's more important that you're willing to graft and put the hours in.
Sure.
Than say that, you did well at school.
Yes.
Sure.
Because if I wanted to, I could have done well at school.
Of course.
I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
So where's this going? So you had the application form.
So when it came to the qualifications bit and that, I couldn't fill them in because I didn't have any qualifications. And it was also asking about your languages. And I put down English quite good.
English quite good.
And his girlfriend came over and seen the form that he'd sent off, and this was a copy of it.
Yeah.
And so she went, oh, you know what I mean? So that's what started, the disappointment.
So they're going to get that and think that you're not English.
I don't think I've got it. It was ages ago.
Right.
How long ago was it?
Oh, well, it was when I was still in Manchester, so 5 years ago.
I don't think you got it, no. No, I think you'd...
There could be a long list.
I mean, there's probably a lot of admin problems in that organisation, but they probably...
But what I meant by it is that I can speak English, but I don't know all these long words that people use all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, can I just tell this quickly? In the week, I'm talking to you now, the listener. Usually I don't.
Yeah.
Carl said, about embarrassing him on air and that, and he's worried about his education, and he was worried about not knowing long words. Like we come up with any long words. And he said, no, I was scared, you were going to ask me something about, someone, and he's Eastern European leader. His surname is Milosevic. And Carl said, so I learnt it this week, and learnt it so you can't catch me out in case it's out. I said, what? And he said, he thought about it, and he went, Slobodan Milosevic.
Got the surname right, though, didn't he?
So what's his name?
Right.
What's his name?
That's how Bill and Ben would address this leader.
How would they have said it?
Slobodan Milosevic.
What's his name?
Slobodan Milosevic.
Yeah.
Well done. Anyway, Karl, look, you almost let it slip then as you were talking about your filling out that application form. There's some big news that everyone needs to know, which we were stunned by in the week, although the more we sort of talk to you, the more it starts to fall into place.
Yeah.
But Karl, what's the story?
That I haven't got me exam results from the GCSEs.
He never turned up to get his exam
I
results.
was working.
And so, how many did you take in the end? Because you weren't even sure about that, were you? You think you took maths and English, don't you?
Yeah.
And you think you've handed in the artwork for art, don't you?
Now, art was continual assessment, wasn't it? Coursework. And what was it that you made?
I made a man sort of putting his arms into a car.
You made a model of a man putting his arms into a car.
What was this?
So that one's passed.
Was that this is a homage to break-ins in Manchester? Was this? What was this? Oh look, he does what he sees.
Yeah.
So
you've
what's
got that. That's safe. You definitely got that one.
So you've taken art, you've taken English and maths, you think? So this is what we're going to do, listeners. We're going to try and find out his exam results for him and tell him next week.
Live on air.
We're going to call his school, we're going to try and track him down, and we are going to have a little envelope, and we are going to give Karl, at the age of 29, his O-level results. GCSEs, yeah.
Now, Karl, so you took maths,
Yeah.
you think, you took English, do you remember turning up to do those? Do you remember sitting in the room filling in the forms?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you feel you did?
I don't think I did well.
You don't think you did well? Did you revise?
No.
Why didn't you revise?
'Cause I don't really believe in it.
Okay.
Well, it's just that if you don't know it, then you don't know it. You shouldn't have to start looking at the book. If I went to like the hospital,
Yeah.
and the doctor said, "Oh, you need your appendix out," but hang on a minute, I've just got to read up on it.
Yeah.
That isn't good enough.
Okay.
He should know, and that's the way I feel about it.
To be fair though,
He did do the revision beforehand.
yeah, they don't usually pass on, like, maybe, like, when they're in practice.
Yeah,
7 years
information
down
they
the
took in
line.
by osmosis.
Yeah, yeah, and the bloke comes in and goes, "Can I just see what you did with that?" And I goes, "You've passed."
Yeah.
Phew. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job I watched Casualty.
I just like the way, the things that interest me, I remember. Things
Okay.
like snakes not having ears and stuff.
Yes.
I didn't have to read about that.
No, you just learnt that, yeah.
You saw it on the telly, didn't you? You saw it on that Ian Wright programme.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what Karl said to me. He said, it's actually, I called Karl up in the week, and Reese was with him. You know, Reese used to be on XFM, and he took the phone, and he went, "Karl's worried, I've seen that programme." He said, "Snakes don't have ears, right?" He said, "So you can creep up on them and pick them up." And he said, "Karl's worried." He said, "How would you ever put them down again?" Because then they know you're there.
I woke up the other night quite late,
Worried about that.
and I said to my girlfriend, I said, "How do you put a snake down?" She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "That Ian Wright thing, this guy managed to pick up a snake. And do you know that thing where they clamp its head on a jar to get the poison out?"
I do now.
Right? They did that, but they didn't show you how they got rid of it, and I thought, it could really get nasty, because it's obviously annoyed that you've had its head pressed in the jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
They hate that.
Now,
Especially as it's in front of their mates.
when you lift it off,
Yeah.
right, you've got hold of it.
Yeah.
If you go to chuck it down, it's going to turn on you.
It's gonna get wild, isn't it?
So, I just wondered.
Well, what you do is you never put it down, Karl.
Yeah, that's why that bloke has got about, 11 or 12 just carrying him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you never put it down. You sling it. Who cares?
You just throw it, don't you, really far.
That's not, that I don't think you should throw
But
snakes.
Karl, listen, don't worry, we're not asking you to get involved with snakes, we're just asking you now, you've done maths, you think?
Yeah.
Did no revision for that?
No.
Okay. English, do you remember what it was? Did they ask you about Shakespeare? Did they ask you
I
about
can't
books?
remember, but I must have done it, because I thought that was...
It was English language, not English literature, wasn't it? So it was
Was it
like...
spelling and all that?
So was it like a comprehension, you read a passage and had to ask questions on it? Was it, did you have to write a short essay?
I don't know, I can't remember any of that.
Okay.
I did a science.
Okay, physics or chemistry?
Physics.
Alright, well done. And this is all you think?
You actually took that? You actually took physics GCSE, you think?
You're obliged to do a language, I think. Did you do French?
I did French for a bit,
I
but
don't think you are. I don't think you have to do a
I
language.
think you have at GCSE, I think you've got to.
Well, English quite good. I think that's his language he did.
I
So you don't know about language? History? Geography?
Just what you will find out, won't we?
Okay. But you just can't remember. I can't believe you can't remember turning up for these things, because it's quite a big moment in people's lives. It is the thing that you've been working to all of your educational life.
On the day that the things came out, I was working at as a printer,
Okay.
and it was a really busy
A lot of
day.
spelling mistakes that
It was
day
a
in
really
that
busy
paper,
day,
wasn't
so
it?
you're bound to forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I had to use gold ink that day. And it's, I mean, you're not a printer, so you don't know.
No, that's the biggie, innit?
But it's tough, you've got to really get your rollers clean.
Karl, play a record, mate, and good luck with the exam results. Hopefully we'll have them for you by next week.
I'll be on XFM 104.9, the home of the classics.
Absolutely.
Classics.
Oggy. Oi.
Well, we were talking earlier about this, as this book, They Died Young, right? And there's all these theories about these people, like famous people that, aren't really dead. And I remember speaking to someone about this, okay? And they said to me, Bruce Lee is not dead, right? They said he's not dead, right? And I said, well, how do you know? So he's going, no, it was a whole big thing by the Hong Kong government, and he's actually working as an undercover cop in Hong Kong. using his kung fu powers. Now,
no, apparently he faked his own death, Karl, so that he could work undercover for the Hong Kong police, infiltrating gangs, the triads, that sort of thing.
Now, my point is this: if you're going to use someone undercover in Hong Kong, right? You know, an undercover cop, I suggest using the most famous Chinaman of all time. That would
that's
be
a guarantee.
Yeah. So, you know, when he's taking away a gang, they're going, you look a bit like Bruce Lee. He's going, no, I don't know. See this moustache?
It's a bit wonky.
Well, just take my word for it. I'm not Bruce Lee, alright? Well, all that stuff he did when you punching us and kicking us and chopping, yes. But, I'm not.
Yeah, it does look a bit like the stuff in my film, in his films.
In his films, yeah.
But it's not. It's just coincidence.
No, yeah.
The thing is, though, I'm not sounding bad here, not trying to offend anyone, but they do all look the same.
They do all look
No.
No, you know, we're having a serious chat. I'm not here to upset anyone.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, over here...
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not... Yeah, but you know me, I'm not out to upset anyone.
Right.
You're not a racialist?
No.
What do you mean? Are you saying Orient people all look alike?
Well, look at the people over here, right?
Yeah.
With, like, you've got ginger people. You've got people with black hair, you've got people who are fat, people who are thin, but they're all so sort of fit, which isn't a bad thing. They all do that sort of thing in the park. They're all fit. It's a place where black hair... I mean, when they come here, they take pictures of people with ginger hair, don't they? Because they don't get them over there. That's what I'm saying. So calm down.
So you're saying that Bruce Lee, the most famous Chinese movie star of all time...
They can't tell him apart.
Other triad members would... How are they going about the business at all? I mean, what I'm saying is, how would they even realise that was the guy?
What do they have to do? Wear numbers in, you know, because there's a billion.
No, but when you know them, then you know.
So what? Oh, I see. They can tell each other apart, can they? Well, they got signals. This is amazing, isn't it?
That's how you got away with it.
Simon, which one are you? Just raise your hand, Simon. Yep. Chang, which one's Chang? Chang, good. Yeah.
Oh, it must be murder, mustn't it? Just
that can be the only
people going into the wrong houses all the time, getting off with their mates' wives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare.
It must be a nightmare. Please don't complain. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm really sorry to anyone that's he honestly does not know what he's saying. XFM 104.9.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
Go on.
I don't think I am offending anyone.
Okay. Fine, that's alright then.
And you know that I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I know you don't. I know.
I know. Radio. I said, right, if you got kids in the car, turn your radio.
So before you make any potentially racist remarks, just point out if you are listening and you might be Oriental. Yeah. Please don't take offence.
Or go...
You know what I mean. So go on then, so what was this other dead person? Who's not?
Can't play a record, Ricky's having a heart attack.
Tomorrow is here.
That's true enough.
Yeah. Must have been some sort of muck up with the post.
Rick, a lot of the times when I've played Hip Hop Hooray, my hip hop track of the week, you've sort of scoffed, you've thought that maybe I don't have credibility amongst the hip hop fraternity.
No, it's just the way you dance.
Well,
it's merely the way you dance that worries me. Because people can't see it, really. And it's sort of like... Imagine if Mr. Bean thought he was in D12. You know what I mean? It's that sort of... And I don't diss you. I mean, I know you're a hip-hop appreciator. You know...
I wouldn't expect you to diss me. I'm a black queen. But the point is that I just... there's a little something that Karl's got on tape for you that I think might change your opinion of my whole hip-hop credibility.
Oh, no.
Now, I've told you in the past...
Not a videotape, is it?
Not at all. Actually, Karl, just play it.
Yo, 1 2 1 2. We are the Dilated Peoples, chilling on Hip Hop Parade.
That's right.
With Steve Merchant, y'all. XFM 104.9. LA to London, Dilated People expanding them
all day.
Now,
who got that?
How about
You
that?
did that, Carl.
No, it was just when I was hanging out with my homies.
No, you did it. Do they come in the week?
They were in the week, I think, and somebody got them to do it for him.
No, that was when I was just hanging in the crib with them. Yeah, no.
That's very nice.
And the guys just laid down some beats for me.
Yeah.
You know, just laid down some vocals, and I gave them max respect for it. You know, and the place was mad deep with girls at the time.
I assume you're going to play Dilated Peoples this week then?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's play it, Carl. Yeah, guys just maxing there, lovely. Good to hear from them. Good to hear from the boys. I'll probably be heading over to LA, NYPD, and just, you know, chilling with them.
I'd love them to meet you.
You're having a laugh,
I'd love them to meet you.
We would hang out. I know all the giants.
It's like a thing they do on, MTV or actually like, Being Dilated Peoples, and they come in, they make us three look like a rap group. Wouldn't that be great?
Listen, I told you before, I've always remembered the words of Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yeah.
Bitch is a bitch and a hoe's a hoe, but if a man be acting like a bitch, he's a bitch-ass homie. Alright? Those are the words from the street.
I would, it'd be like you two had won a competition or something, do you know what I mean? Like that.
I just don't think you can believe it, that I'd just be hanging out, you know,
sort of like
in the crib.
People of courage, and you get a chance to meet your favourite. It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Listen, we were talking earlier about the fact that Bruce Lee, and it's a well-known fact, he faked his own death so he could continue his undercover police work, as opposed to being
because no one would, he doesn't look different to anyone else.
I was talking to someone as well recently who utterly convinced, and you get this quite a lot, don't you, especially Americans, that Elvis Presley's still alive.
Yeah.
And I think, wasn't there some statistic, like more people believed Elvis was alive than believed evolution? Was that right?
Yes.
Something like that?
No. No, it's something worse than that. It could be something.
It was something like that. It's something like, I don't know, it's something like 42% of Americans believe that Elvis Presley has faked his own death and is still alive, right?
Yeah.
And there's this whole book that's been written about it, because, Carl, you might be interested in this. I know you're always fascinated by things that have been written down and therefore a gospel.
Yeah.
And that
you don't have to revise yourself. You just learn off Ian Wright. Yeah.
But apparently, the reason that Elvis is still alive, is that there's a number of, sort of, pieces of evidence. One is that none of his family could agree which colour pyjamas he was wearing when he died. That's evidence, apparently. Apparently, you know, he was an honorary member of the FBI. Well, apparently his signature appears on FBI documents well into the 80s, long after he should have died. Apparently no one can agree. There was sums of money
a lot of fat people in dungarees have seen him.
Yeah. There's a number of sums of money which apparently only he could have given authority to have transferred to other bank accounts. They've moved. Yeah. So this is all evidence that Elvis is still alive. And a lot of people was understanding this guy, and he was saying, yeah, well, of course, the thing is, the pressures of fame were too much for him, that he faked his own death so that he no longer had to be this huge icon, you know, he could live an ordinary life. And my query has always been this: if Elvis faked his own death, do you think the method he'd have chosen is to have shat himself to death whilst on the toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, but because he picked that, nobody will doubt it.
Right. So Elvis went to the FBI.
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
Well, exactly. So, what we're saying, Carl, is that there was lots of methods open to him, you know what I mean? It's all like, he didn't go to his secret police and go, oh, I'm afraid I wanna fake my own death. You know what I mean? And they go, that's
yeah, what methods have you got?
I like to be found shit myself down the toilet.
You like to do what?
I want to be a big, fat mother on the toilet, just shitting myself to death.
Right,
on my ankles.
Elvis is a good idea. I'm just wondering if there's maybe something a little bit more glamorous for your favourite death. I mean, you could take a bullet for the president.
What, and shit all over him? Just shit?
No, we know crap at all.
No,
you just take a bullet for him, or you could...
There has to be shit involved.
Why has it got to be...
There has to be shit involved.
Why has it got to be crap?
I want this way. Make it happen. Yeah, it's probably Carl, head in hand, look. Yeah. He's worried about the things we say.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We haven't offended 1.2 billion people.
Yeah. A fifth of the planet.
So, Carl, what do you make of it then? Are you convinced Elvis is still alive?
Am I getting him mixed up with someone else?
Because all Elvis, all Elvises look alike.
Because...
that is true. A lot of Elvises do look alike. That's safe.
On his gravestone, didn't they get his name wrong? Or is that his brother?
Who's his brother?
Aaron.
That's his middle name.
Yeah. You're not an Elvis, kind of expert, are you?
Hold on, wasn't Elvis one of a twin that died?
that died, and I'm sure they got his name wrong on a grave or something. Oh, I don't know.
But that's consequently that's proof he's still alive.
No, the thing with the still alive thing, like I say, he picked that awkward death because nobody would be saying, hang on a minute, going around upsetting the family, wanting to talk about it because they'd be embarrassed to be saying, you know, he was found sort of in a pile of mess. Weighing
25 stone.
Yeah. So...
Because you notice he also expanded to a huge size as well, so he was just a huge fat blob of a man. He also did that to add, you know, extra...
To the glamour.
I don't quite understand these people who fake the deaths, because...
Well, a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't, Carl. This is what, in a roundabout way, we're saying. We're saying that a lot of people that say people fake that they didn't, like Bruce Lee and James Dean and Elvis Presley, we're saying they didn't fake their deaths.
He did die, didn't he? His head come off, didn't it?
God.
Who's this?
James Dean?
His head came off.
He threw.
Absolutely.
2 hours of chat, great music.
Bloody good music.
Carl.
Of course.
Speaking
fun.
Before he thinks. By the way, you know when he was talking about Mowgli? You know, he was going to talk about Mowgli and you said, oh, what are the gremlins called?
Yeah.
Were you thinking of, Mugwai. Mugwai.
Yeah, but they were still, they were
called gremlins. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. I know, to be fair.
But my girlfriend won't be listening now, so she'll still think I'm a bit daft.
Why would she ever think that? How long have you been going out with her?
About 8 years.
Well then, why would she ever think you're daft? That's the only stupid thing you've ever said, the Mogwai thing. Why would she ever think she's going out with a, to be honest, a retard?
I think it's a very beautiful relationship you must have, you know. Because it's odd, like, I mean, she's a professional journalist or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and she works for, is it, Radio 5 or something?
BBC Sport.
BBC Sport.
TV.
And you're a man who never even, got
her English quite good. Is English quite good? Her?
Really good.
Yeah?
So...
And did she do her exams?
Yeah. Quite bright.
Sure. So what do you bring to the relationship?
I think, take the pressure off her.
Take the pressure off her, to do what?
You know, like, when she's had a stressful day and she comes home and talks to me, I think...
Yeah.
You would relax me, and that's the truth. Honestly, if you know, Carl, he can just go, wow, it's alright. Do you know what I mean? He don't get stressed. He sits in his little booth now, he doesn't talk to anyone, his little sound booth all the week. And you're in your own little world, aren't you?
But it's interesting because I wonder sometimes what your aspirations are. I was thinking this, I was watching a repeat of Family Fortunes on Challenge TV last night. And it was sort of mid-80s one, and I don't know if it's still the case, but it was the aspirations of the contestants.
Yeah.
So kind of, it was like, and what's your hobby? Well, you know, like to go out when it's nice weather and stay in when it's not.
If you win £2,000, you'd probably be going out when it's nice, couldn't you? Yeah.
And she was like, well, and I sometimes like to watch TV. You know, and I was thinking, wow, man, you've really got some incredible dreams. It's just like that, you're just waiting to die, aren't you? That's
what I feel sorry for, right? Two things. You know, in like Stars in Their Eyes, and you get a little fellow, and he's gutting fish in some sort of factory in Bolton, and he comes on, and he does, you know, something like Bobby Darren, okay, and Matthew Kelly comes out after and goes, well, I don't think you'll be going back to the fish factory. You will.
You will be going back.
You will.
Straight back,
yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
Let's think of all the Stars in Their Eyes stars.
Kelly, because that's a nasty thing to do.
I'm trying to think of all the Stars in Their Eyes contestants that have gone on to great things.
What happened to that little fella that looked like the little Alsatian puppy that did Krista Burr? He looks a bit like Krista Burr. He looked like he had problems.
Well, now what was it? Is Ian Moore his name was?
He was...
well, it's interesting, my friend bought me as an ironic gift for my birthday, he bought me the live video of Ian Moore. You'll be pleased to know that Lady in Red was on there, among a number of other hits. But it was brilliant, it had a picture of Ian on the front, it said, Ian Moore, naturally.
I didn't know it was too big for him as well.
Of course. It was ludicrous, but I don't know if that meant Ian Moore, naturally, like we all know who this guy is, it's Ian Moore.
Yeah.
Or was it Ian Moore, he's no longer being Krista Burr, he's just natural.
What did he sound like when he wasn't being Krista Burr?
Krista Burr.
Did he really? Because he met him, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think Krista Burr couldn't wait to get back on the telly.
Well, the thing is, I think Ian Moore is actually earning more than Krista Burr now. I think...
They could have got Krista Burr on there.
Yeah, you can get Krista Burr for £1,000, but Ian Moore's going to have for £1,200 now. Just a PA to, adapt. But he does Lady, he does all the hits. He does, don't pay the ferryman.
Yeah.
Don't even set a price. Does all those.
Interestingly, I saw him interviewed once, and Lady in Red's not his favourite song.
You're joking.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
But he was only going to play that if, it was the, fat, ginger... Sarah Ferguson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was only if she was wearing some red.
He was only going to play that when?
Yeah, well, it was a live thing, and he was only going to play that if she was wearing red or something.
Right.
Didn't her freckles count?
That's beautiful.
No, so luckily she had a red, that must have clashed with her a bit.
Yeah.
A red scarf on her face.
And the highlights in your hair that catch the light.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful lyric.
Never seen you looking so lovely as it. The thing is, right, he misses a rhyme there. He goes, I'm gonna ask you to, dance. Looking for a little romance. Now he could have said dance, couldn't he?
I met a man once in a bar. I was talking to him for some reason. I was annoyed by him. I was wound up by him. And, I said that I'd written Lady in Red. And, I never got any money for it. Because I found out he was like a music lawyer. And he went, well, give me a call, I'll investigate that. And he was actually going to do it for me. I love the idea of that. Just
Why did you say that?
really bored, and I didn't like him much, and I thought that was,
Why did you choose Lady in Red, though?
Because I think I was singing it with a friend of mine, and he came over and went, oh, good voice. And I went, yeah, I wrote this.
What pub is this?
It was North.
Is it?
Yeah. Never seen looking so lovely as you did tonight. So, anyway, that's enough of my Christopher anecdotes.
Yeah.
That's very much the end of the show.
And it is, it's been a great show.
Hang on, have I got time for a song for the lovers, or have I missed that?
No.
If you give it me
Of course you
now.
have. Yeah, what are you gonna play? What are you gonna play?
What, are you going to play a song now and then we've got time for it afterwards?
No, you'll have to give it me.
Yeah.
right
Oh, I better
now.
dig it out. Well, can you keep people
What have you chosen? I'll keep it going.
Well, a friend of mine who keeps making me little compilations has stuck on an old Tom Waits track, which is from his first album, one that I've not listened to for a while.
Brilliant.
Re-listen to it, it's absolute dynamite.
Brilliant.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Just wandering around.
Yeah. He's just getting out of his bag now, because we weren't prepared for this. We sort of ran out of time. We're having such a great time with the philosophy of Karl.
What do you fancy doing, anyway, with your future?
Me?
You know, I'm just gonna tell you now, you know we're still on air, don't you? Before it gets too casual, you know we are still broadcasting to the capital. Okay. Yeah, what do you fancy doing with your future, Steve?
Well, once I've made all that money from suing Christopher, my future, I'm living my future, man. I wanted to have some good mates like yourself and Ricky.
Yeah.
You know, Karl, I wanted to be on the radio, I wanted to play great songs.
We're like the Three Musketeers, me, you and Steve. We're like the original Rat Pack. We're like Ocean's 11. I'm Sinatra.
Yeah.
You're Sammy Davis Jr. and you're, what's his name? Dean Martin, aren't you?
Yeah, or Joey Lawrence. What's his name? Joey Lawrence, not Joey Lawrence, Joey Bishop.
Joey Deacon.
Joey Deacon.
My dad said the ending on the old one's better than the new one.
We should definitely get your dad in, man. That would be just dynamite. When people get tired of you, we've got the whole Pilkington family to do
The whole gene pool.
Have you seen it?
No. Karl, have we got time for this now, really, mate?
What track?
To be fair. Okay, it's track number 1. Now, interesting thing
This is
about Tom
shocking.
Waits is that, this is from his first album, and he doesn't sound like that kind of gruff, lived-in guy that he wants to be.
He didn't
actually sounds like
smoke.
something of a crooner.
Yeah.
But this is a track called Old 55, which bizarrely I think might have been covered by the Eagles. But anyway, so I think it's a really lovely track, really beautiful track.
I'll see you next week.
And we'll see you next time.
Say goodbye, Karl.
So yeah.
Say sorry
What?
for if you offended anyone.
I didn't. So if I say sorry, that's saying I'm guilty.
Approve of that, Karl. Good choice there. Now, Steve.
Yes.
Karl came round to my flat. It was Tuesday night, wasn't it?
Nice place.
Now, thanks. Now, last week after the show, I think you guys were, in the time you were in the toilet, like, Karl got out the lottery, ticket that he'd bought. He went, I'm feeling really confident tonight. I laughed. He went, no, seriously. He said, look at the numbers. And I looked at them and I think they were 4, 6, 8, 20, 36, 48, weren't they? He goes, I just got a feeling about those, I went, sure. He went, although, my girlfriend said that, if I won the lottery, we'd probably split up because we like such different things, meaning she likes to travel and he doesn't. And so he said, so what I said was, well, if I win, then I won't tell you. I'll just treat you a little bit more. Brilliant.
That's brilliant logic.
That is great. Anyway.
I'll look after her.
Oh, I imagine you take care of her, yeah. Yeah, you're a good guy. How would you do it then? You just sneak little gifts in, slowly over many years.
Yeah.
You don't think she'd rumble, the fact that you, don't work anymore and drive a Lamborghini?
Well, I'd still do this, I think.
What, just, as a kind of beard, as a cover story?
Yeah, just...
So you'd pretend to come to work, but maybe off partying and stuff in the daytime?
Yeah.
Clever.
Now, he didn't win.
Okay.
I phoned him up Saturday night, he won one number. One number, I think it was 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of 8s on my piece of paper, weren't there? So I think it was either an 8 or an 18 or a 48.
And he went, and he was disappointed, he said, waste of time. I went, well, he said, no, waste of time. He said, I've worked it out. I went, go on. He went, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. I went, yeah. He went, think how many words you can make out of them. He went, there are 48 numbers on the lottery. I went, yeah, 60 million to 1. He went, yeah. Not worth it.
I looked into that in the week, right? And there's even less letters in the Welsh alphabet. They've only got 20. And yet they've got loads of words as well. So even 20, the chances, if there was 20 numbers and you had to pick 6 winners, it'd still be really...
unlikely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You should be a mathematician. And anyway, so we got talking about it. We got talking, that was me, him and Jane around there. And I told Jane that he said about, if you won the lottery, no, he doesn't like travel. And she went, why do you like travelling? And he went, well, I don't like planes. I'm really scared of planes and that. And she went, well, if you won the lottery, you could have a world cruise. And he went, no. She went, you don't fancy it? I went, no. He said, if you go on a world cruise, what do you do next year?
Oh, it's brilliant logic, Carl.
It's
you know on the world cruise you don't actually see the whole world. I mean,
and if you did, it's not like saying, well, I don't want to see that twice. Do you know what I mean?
The world.
It is the world. It's a lot. It's a lot to see. And
did it never dawn on you before about the numbers in the lottery? Have you been playing this for years and thinking that you had a good chance, and it was just like you and a handful of other people that were doing it?
Just as much chance as everyone else, but then when you actually sit down and think about what you're doing.
He's done it again this week. He went off doing it one more time, and he showed me the numbers, and he went, they look a bit more healthy, don't they?
What numbers are you going for this week?
It's alright laughing, but we'll see tonight.
Yeah. Go on then.
So look.
You know, if people do this and they win, if you take these out and people do these, you'll have to share it with someone. It's alright though, isn't it? Give them a chance. Tell them give people a clue. What numbers are you doing, Carl?
No, I'm not going to tell them all. I'll give you 4. I've got 5, 9, 12 and 26.
Okay.
You're not going to give us the other 2?
No. Because that's a big difference, isn't it? 4's worth about 8 grand in it, but if I give them the other 2 and it wins.
Yeah. What are those 4 numbers again?
5, 9, 12, 26.
Also, coming up is Carl's GCSE results. He took them in 1988, I think.
Was it?
And we've phoned his score, we tracked him down. We've got Carl's GCSE, what did I say?
How many did you get, Rick?
Walking with these, sorry about that earlier. You know, I like to keep a tight, slick ship, and that lets us all down, doesn't it? When something goes wrong with the shoddy equipment in this place.
Mm.
Why don't you buy some new stuff? You must be earning a bit of money now, wasn't you? We got a few listeners now, we get adverts, don't we? Why don't they just buy a new CD player? You can go down to Richer Sounds and get one for 50 quid.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I suppose when you're starting off, you save the money you make first before you spend it.
Go down to Record and Tape Exchange, take all the 4 non-blondes and excess stuff you've got.
Out of the record library.
You'll be able to get an old CD player.
25 minutes this week it took.
What? The 4 non-blondes obligatory mention.
I think we should make that some sort of calling to win feature.
Carl, are we using the equipment that you used to use when you had Pilkey's Making Music, the DJ outfit that you made around?
I love that. That was Karl Pilkington and someone making,
Colin Making.
Pilkey's Making Music.
Genius. Are we using that same equipment?
Did you earn any money?
I paid for the tube lights and that. I sort of covered my costs.
Did you? Did you pay tax on that?
And then, no. Oh, that's what they get Al Capone on, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's right. Don't worry about the music policy. We're sorting that out. We got some Verve coming up. We got some Jimmy Webb. We got some Nick Cave. We got some Amy Mann. We got some Travis Corner Shop. You know what I mean? We're sorting ourselves out. We haven't started yet. We're just starting, getting going. We got Carl's GCSE result.
Let's just do it now.
Should we do it now?
Well, I think we should have a White Van Man session.
Oh, White Van Man.
I think people tune in for the White Van Man session.
Yeah, people who haven't tuned in, they don't know.
If people aren't familiar with this, the Sun runs a column every day which is asking some punter from the street their views on the week's big events, and we just thought, why not hijack that idea, but apply it to Karl Pilkington. Carl?
I've seen much news again this week.
You've not seen much news? Don't worry, I'm sure you have an opinion on it.
Just give us it from your heart.
So, Gladiator.
Okay, so, well, on the subject of Gladiator, what do you make of Russell Crowe's appalling behaviour at the BAFTAs?
This is, I heard a bit about this. This is, when he got some director or something, because...
Director or producer and threatened him, because they cut his bit, didn't they?
Yeah, they cut a poem that he'd done during the acceptance speech.
I watched it on Sunday night, I didn't realise it wasn't live, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I quite liked the way it was to the point and didn't mess about. He went up, he said thanks.
So you're saying that he shouldn't have beaten up the director? Is that what you're basically saying?
It's a bit over the top.
You thought
I mean, if you didn't have time, if you really, I mean, what's the poem got to do with the film anyway? He was an awards.
So do you think it's ever justified to beat up a TV director if you're a major Hollywood star?
Depends what he's done, but I mean...
Right, what would you have to have done, Carl, for it to be fine for him to then beat him up?
The thing is, right, forget all the beating up. At the end of the day, it was a awards thing for a film. The poem had nothing to do with the film.
Yeah.
So go up, collect your award for that thing. And if you really, really wanted people to hear about this poem, he could have photocopied it and left it at the entrance and said, on your way out, this is a really nice poem, pick one up.
No, but the thing is, he knew it was televised, so he knew by saying that poem once, he was reaching 5 million people. That's a lot of photocopies. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was justified.
It wasn't a poem award. If it was an award show for poems, you'd say you can't cut it out. It'd be like doing the top 40 and then going, number 1's good, but we haven't got time for it. But it's a films thing.
Okay.
And he went up and he got the award for the film. Which film was it for?
I don't know, but when I wanted to give you results, I said, let's give Carl his results. Steve went, no, we should introduce people to Carl again, just remind people what Carl's like. And he's so right. I'm so glad we did this first.
Am I right, though?
Carry on, Steve.
Okay, the next topic, what about this big debate over whether Kylie Minogue's had a bum job?
I'd have to see it.
Next!
Okay. What do you make of Will Young's single? He's the Pop Idol winner. It's gonna net record-breaking sales, apparently. It's gonna go straight to number 1. He's had millions of copies sold.
I heard last week that you had to, if you wanted to buy it from Woolworths, you had to go in and put £1 down to guarantee getting a copy.
Wow.
I think that's stupid.
But what do you make of it, though? Do you think,
as a song?
both as a song, and are you excited about Will Young and his future?
No, he'll do alright. I don't think we have to worry about him.
Okay.
He'll do alright. It's not my thing, but seems like a nice bloke.
Okay, very good. What do you make?
One?
Yeah, one final one then. What do you make of our scientists getting the go-ahead to clone embryos for research? We have discussed cloning before, and obviously there's the pros and cons of that. Christopher Reeve, former Superman star, he's behind this. Are you behind him?
Yeah. I mean, with everything, you have your good and your bad, don't you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you didn't have bad things in the world, then you wouldn't enjoy the good things. I think, it's like if you didn't have robbers in the world, policemen wouldn't have a job. So it's the same thing. It's like, it's an illness. Yeah. What are they messing with?
It's probably a bit too detailed to go into there, really, but,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good and bad. You can't have it all.
Yin and yang is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, I can't argue with that, mate.
I want to play a track now that, I haven't heard for a while. It's the Verve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Full Motorcycle Club, spread your love. It's time to give Carl... You're actually nervous. I'm a little bit nervous. Just to recap, Carl is 30 this year. He never went to get his results of his GCSEs. So myself and Steve took it upon ourselves to phone his school, track them down, and we actually got your results. What did you think you took?
Did English.
Right.
Maths.
Yeah.
Art.
Right.
And I think I did physics.
Okay. Well, you didn't do any of them.
Eh?
You didn't do any of them. You didn't register. You registered for one exam and took one exam and got results for one exam. So I don't know what you thought you were turning up to, or you weren't registered, or you didn't.
You're familiar with the notion of registering for an exam. You have to kind of officially register in order to be eligible.
What do you mean, register? I turned up for a couple.
Yeah, you can't just show up. You have to register for them.
You have to pay this because it costs the school money, so they have had to have paid for you if they thought you were going to pass. You can't just turn up on the day and ask some paper at the front.
I never got a letter telling me that.
Well, that's because you were never at school.
But you did somehow register or registered for one exam. You registered for history.
It's a topic that you've always been interested in.
I was saying to Ricky before, World War II, I loved it.
Not the actual event.
No,
the
but
study
just
of it.
all the stuff like, about the Anderson shelters and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the bombs and that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I took it, it had nothing to do with that. It was more about the Tudors.
So the Second World War didn't come up? You mean there were no questions about the Anderson shelters?
Nothing.
That's devastating.
So
what are you expecting the result to be?
is that seriously? Is that it?
Yeah, it's the only one you took and registered.
As far as the school is concerned, or
yeah.
certainly in
Well, it's the
terms
only
of
one
what
that
they told
counts.
us.
It's the only result. It's the only one that counts. Yeah, you've got.
I don't. Did you register for yours?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got certificates and everything.
So what? Do you do that before the exam? Do you have to go somewhere and sign something, or?
Yeah, you don't check your results and then decide if you want to register. It's not like Millionaire when you look at the question and go, I think I'll take the money.
Yeah.
You go.
No.
But anyway, you must have registered for one, or maybe your teacher put you in for
Well, I didn't do it.
They must have been confident. They must have been confident. They must have thought your best bet was history.
Right, so what did they get?
You got an E. Which I think, I mean, technically, is a pass.
E?
It's a bad pass, but there's F, and there's
I mean, you're not going to be doing a PhD.
you can get an F, right, which is fail, and then a U, which is ungraded. Now, I don't know why the U exists, because F means you failed. U is like them going, you not only failed, but you wasted my time.
So
we're annoyed that you took this exam.
So you thought they'd register me to get an E?
Well, they didn't.
I think they were hoping. It was rather like you with the lottery. They were hoping for something better than
You
nothing.
see, I assume that the man who registered for that thought he can scrape an E if Anderson Shout was come up.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You've got. Now, what I'd like to do, Carl, is I've started your re-education. You've read a book on Rasputin. I'll be asking you a few questions about that later. I've got another book for you to read next week. Next week,
I'm not in the mood.
What?
Not in the mood.
Oh, come on. Look. What's that? What does that say?
It's that fella. It's the picture of the bloke that he used to use for Citizen Smith.
Yeah? Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was quite happy, I think, when he found out that Robert Lindsay was involved. He went, yeah, of course you can. No worries, yeah.
What are your feelings, Carl? What
do you think? Are you depressed?
I'm just a bit annoyed because I'm sure I turned up for more, so it just wasted me time.
Listen, they don't matter.
I'm sure
you're doing very well. You know, you can educate yourself. GCSEs are merely a step on the ladder to help you, not just for education, but, you know, they're more vocational than anything else. You're doing very well, and you're reading books. Don't worry about it.
It's not
just something. But if you want, I'll pay for you to take history again.
Carl, we'd love to see you get a C or above. And
Well,
we're
I'll
willing
pay
to...
for you, and I'll get you some books. Right, now listen. We can, let's get, I reckon, when are the exams? June?
Something like that, yeah.
We'll try and register next week, and I reckon you can get an A or B.
I'm
history.
Busy, I'm
In
busy.
history. No, don't worry about it, it's just easy. I get you Brody's notes. If Heat magazine, they love you, Carl. They can probably sort something out. They can probably pay for a tutor. They got a lot of money, they sell a lot of magazines.
I mean, it is always, almost always, and you found that out, I discovered this, it's always the Tudors and Stuarts. There's no fear for them not coming up. Now, what do you already know about them? You must already know stuff about Henry VIII and Elizabeth.
No, because it's too long ago to even get interested in. Do you know what I mean? You can't
Is that why you
relate
didn't-
to it.
Okay.
The Anderson thing, it was like, God, you know, I bet my mum and dad were in an Anderson shelter. You know, this is interesting.
What, when they...
Oh, my granddad would have, like, had something to do with this. But the Tudors, it's like, I don't know even if they had a family back then.
Play record! If we come back
Hang on,
hang on.
because I need to introduce my the new feature.
Yeah,
for the
I
record.
don't know if I had a family back then.
Carl, listen, let me just ask you now, right? If you can finish this sentence, we've got a chance. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded.
Died. What is it?
We just need to do a little bit of work, but otherwise I think you're going to be fine. It's how you remember what happened to Henry VIII's wives.
They're little...
Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded.
It's like spam. Support... What's it? Support, protection, anchorage, movement. That's how
You're going to that's nothing to do with the Tudors
No,
and
that's to
Stuarts.
do with the skeleton.
Yeah, see, no, we're not doing biology.
Mnemonics and, acronyms and...
What happened to Henry VIII's last wife? Did she die, or did she not die? Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded.
Do you know that the only king that has got a moustache is... No. The only king that hasn't got a moustache is the King of Hearts on the playing cards.
What's the record you play?
I want to resurrect the career of a different artist each week. This is an artist who's overlooked by the general public.
The red card.
This is Amy Mann, and Amy Mann, she's written songs as good as that. She's released it as a single. She had to, I think, put the album from which that's taken out by herself over the internet. She was Oscar nominated for the songs in the film Magnolia. She couldn't get a record label. I don't know if she's now got one. And yet there's people like Alanis Morissette shifting shed loads of songs. I don't understand what the rules are. I don't know why she's not a household name.
Well, there's beautiful things like that in the world. Why do you care about epoxy GCSE?
What did she get for history?
What did she get for history?
Yeah.
I think she did very poorly.
Why do you care? See, I was just gonna say, this has backfired a little bit, because Karl is genuinely, I don't know if he's actually upset or embarrassed, but it doesn't matter. Why does it matter? You were 15 and didn't go to school.
If you were my friends, I think you would have just said, oh, we can't find them.
Why? But you just wanted to know.
What to do with that?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's ridiculous. Do it again because you want to learn, because there's great things in the world to learn about. Don't worry. The GCSE is vocational, is vocationally for a 15, 16-year-old to go on to do A-levels or whatever, or to get results. But you don't need that, because you've done very well. You don't care about the Tudor and the Stuarts. I mean,
I mean, I've had a couple of jobs, not this one, because you don't need qualifications to get a job.
Obviously.
In the radio.
Obviously.
Absolutely right.
But ones that I have got in the past, I did, because I didn't collect them, I had to lie. And I didn't like go mad. I didn't say I had A's and stuff. But I didn't put history down because I didn't even know I did it.
So it's a bonus.
I kind of treated myself to like a D and a couple of C's and that, so it's like, well, he's not.
I love the fact that Karl even then was honourable. It's like, I'll at least put down the ones I think I took and lie, but the ones I didn't take, I won't lie about.
Yeah, and don't give yourself a B.
Exactly.
If they're going to find out you lied, give yourself a B next time,
It could
Karl.
backfire, couldn't it? I mean, my brother's a bit mental, and he used to do things like go for jobs and say, oh yeah, I've done this before. Like being a mechanic, and he's never even picked up a spanner. And yet, he'd have the confidence to go and try and fix cars. Well, I'm not that daft, but, God, an E.
Who do you blame for this?
That's just an easy way out. I have to blame myself. Don't I?
Yeah.
What was the teacher like?
Well, there's loads of different ones. I didn't like. I mean, the history teacher, it is my own fault, because with her, she was a bit mental, and I used to kind of stop the lesson by saying, oh, miss, tell us about your fireplace you've got that is made from a gravestone. Because that's what
that would stop any English teacher in their tracks.
And she loved telling you about it.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh,
I learned that from a teacher.
So that's why I didn't know about divorce, head loss, and all that.
Yeah.
Dandruff legs. Horse, head loss, dandruff legs.
But remember now, divorce beheaded died, divorce beheaded survived. That's all you got to remember.
And what's that?
That's what happened to Henry VIII's various wives. In order.
What does it spell out?
No, it doesn't spell out
anything. You just got to remember the rhythm.
In order in which he married.
Yeah, but it helps. It's like when my mum taught me the alphabet. She taught me as like a song. And like consonant.
D, E, F, G.
Yeah, consonant. No, not like that.
Huh.
That's how everyone else could do it, and I couldn't do it that way.
Right.
What tune did she do it to?
It was, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
X. Dandy Warhols, Get Off on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant.
Hello.
It's 2:05 on the day that Karl, our producer, found out that he had an E in history, GCSE, and nothing else, because he didn't actually register. I can't believe he registered for that. I don't know.
I didn't.
Someone else put you in. They can't have put you in, because you were away. They probably said, oh, you didn't register in that. Listen, obviously, you're feeling a little bit melancholy, because it's like you're hearing it for the first time, so it's like you're 16 again. But it was to be expected. But listen, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But listen, take it again. Take it again. For your is there a history teacher listening? What's the number? 08700 800 123. They can tell us the syllabus this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what is it?
08700.
And I've got maths. 08700 800 1234. Mine's more laziness that I couldn't be able to say that last digit.
Yeah.
Really. I've done most of the work.
If we get onto your problem, then it's a whole other show.
It doesn't matter really, because like you say, right, I've done alright for myself.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing of like, when you get older, if you find out that your dad's not your dad, it's like, it doesn't matter, he was a dad to me.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Are you saying Mr. Nuttall wasn't your real teacher?
Give out the number again, Rick, what we after?
08700 800 1234. Is there a history teacher out there that may know how we can... Is he too late to register this time?
What's the syllabus this year?
What's the syllabus this year? Do we have to pay for it? And does he want to earn, like, 25 quid cash in hand to give Karl a couple of lessons? I'll stamp that up. Take it, yeah? Be great, be fantastic.
They probably won't want to do it though.
We'd film it, it'd be a documentary on choice. Heat magazine be right behind it. There'd be, you know, little clues. We could have a little question and answer, little quizzes. You know what I mean? Be
Rick,
great.
before we play the next record, I've just been looking through the XFM gig guide, and I just wanted to let you know that, at Spitz this evening, Commercial Street E1, doors at 8 o'clock, Gut Bucket are playing. So, no, just a lot of listeners will probably want to know that. So I don't want anyone to miss out on the Gut Bucket gig at Spitz tonight, Commercial Street E1.
That's a good plug for the Gut Bucket boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage.
Now, Steve just played one of the most beautiful records. I mean, so I've got to up the ante here, and I'm gonna play another Jimmy Webb track. I played it off 10 Easy Pieces last week, and I have played this track before, but a different version. You'll know it, obviously better by Glenn Campbell. He wrote a lot of songs for Glenn Campbell, and this is Galveston, and this.
Christchurch, Dorset. That's a complete and utter lie. Christchurch, Dorset. Because I used to have a friend that's from Christchurch. That's a complete and utter lie. Dorset. Christchurch, Dorset. Christchurch, Christchurch, Dorset. Christchurch, Christchurch, Dorset. Christchurch, Dorset. Like where were you born and raised? He was like Christchurch, Dorset. Christchurch. Christchurch, 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 Dorset. Christchurch.